Oh, yeah. We are live. Hi, guys. Louis in the UK. How we going? It's quite late tonight. It's Louis in the UK. Now, our channel is called Defending Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth. Right, I thought I'd talk about Elvis and Priscilla's divorce papers. There's some that have gone on auction, and I thought, let's read through them. We've got some parts of it. I'll just wait for you guys to join. So I found it. Hi, everyone. So I found a website that has got some of the divorce papers on it. I'm just going to skim through a few bits of it. It's quite interesting. So don't forget, we are defending Elvis Presley. It's very interesting, this. Fans want the truth. Defending Elvis Presley, fans want the truth. That's what we're called. So if any of you want to join us and help us with Team Elvis to defend Elvis Presley, and we want the truth, please join in. You're very welcome. Very welcome. So I thought we're going to talk about the divorce a little bit. So I'm just going to put things in Google and see what comes up. Hi, chilling in Canada. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Stacey. Hi, Deborah. It's quite late for me. In the UK now, it's 9 minutes past 8. So I really enjoyed this morning's live stream. It was really good because we found a page at 30 things about Elvis Presley that most people don't know. Found it really interesting. It's one of my favorite lives we've done. This is the one we did in the morning, not the phone lives. This is the wide lives. So if anyone's watching now, please join in. Please let us know who you are. Please subscribe. You're very welcome to join our lovely little family we've got here. We also welcome any Elvis channels. If there's any Elvis channels that want to join in with us, for example, like Rhonda and Shauna, is it Presley Mania? We encourage any Elvis channels to join in and chat with us. Let me just tell Nadia. So I'm going to start. Let's just get Nadia to join us. We are a very friendly Elvis channel. We welcome all people. Priscilla fans, we welcome any other Elvis channels. We've all got the same goal in mind. We want to preserve Elvis's good name, his image, his legacy, his reputation, and we are here to defend anyone that is talking about Elvis Presley in a derogatory manner, to belittle his image, to make him look small, or to tell lies about him, or to twist the truth, or to reinvent history from their point of view. We're going to jump in and defend Elvis Presley. That is the whole point of why we're here. That is the whole point, to get the truth out and dispel the lies. Go on then, Linda, far away. Guess what happened when I went to the chip shop a minute ago? It is Elvis Red, and I think it was really good. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Colleen. Oh, yeah, I've just seen that Colleen's on. Hi, Colleen. Don't forget, guys, if any of you want to be members, click the join button. You know I love you being members, but it's important you subscribe. Okay, so what I did, I've been looking on my phone, and if you look, I've been looking for information to do with Elvis's divorce. So I found some here, and it is called Elvis and Priscilla's Divorce Papers Go on Auction. It's not very clear. I thought I'd read some of it out. And then after that, I thought I'd find a few other bits just to chat about the divorce. See just what information is on Google when you Google it. Now, I have strong opinions about the divorce. We know there was 2 divorce settlements. The first divorce settlement, I think, was okay. Let me just click everything off. Right. I think Elvis was a very wealthy man with a very high income. They had a complex relationship. I think probably both were unfaithful more than once to each other. They obviously were not happy. So it makes sense once they did divorce that Priscilla got quite a large amount of money, quite a fair settlement. I think Elvis was very generous to Priscilla. So we're going to talk about how much she got in the first divorce settlement. Now, I am not happy, this is just my opinion, with the second divorce settlement. I think, in my opinion, that Priscilla was very greedy and cruel. And the reason I say it was cruel, in my opinion, was because a lot of it was happening in 1977. The second divorce settlement had been going on for a while, but it was still going on in 77, as far as I know. Tell me if I'm wrong, guys. But on the second divorce settlement, it was much more complicated because you had property involved. So the attorney was trying to get a deed of trust, a charge, a lien placed on Graceland, the property, to guarantee that Priscilla gets her money, even if it is in installments and other things. Elvis couldn't afford the second divorce settlement. And from what I've read, she also wanted 5% of his recording rights. She also wanted very high spousal payments, even more than before. This second divorce settlement was so expensive, Elvis literally could not afford to pay it. Vernon was going crazy. He could not believe how greedy Priscilla was being, in my opinion. And remember, at this time, 1977, Elvis was very unwell. Very unwell. Yeah. And he also, the tell-all book, from the 3 guys in the Memphis Mafia. So is it Red West, Sonny West, and Mark Hebler, is it? Had released the tell-all book, Elvis What Happened, weeks before Elvis died. And Elvis was very seriously, chronically unwell and had been for a few years. His health was so serious, he could have died at any moment. So this is all happening in 1977. There was a build-up, but in 77, when Priscilla was demanding more money, from what I know, and I'm only saying this as an opinion from research that I've done, Elvis definitely could not afford it, which is why they needed a deed of trust, and you can find the deed of trust. It's on Google. I actually will try and find it for you guys. And I personally think the deed of trust, the charge, the lien that was placed on Graceland to guarantee Priscilla gets her money in 1977 was cruel, and in my opinion, could have affected the fact that he died. I know that's a very extreme thing to say, isn't it? But you've got to add it all up. His chronic, serious health problems that affected his lungs, his liver, his heart, his colon, his blood pressure, glaucoma, lack of sleep, lack of rest. He was on uppers and painkillers. We had a massive mix of problems. Serious constipation, which they say could have been the reason he had the final heart attack. And whilst all of that's happening, you've got the divorce, the second divorce settlement, and you've got Memphis Mafia that betrayed him, in my opinion, and released that book. All of these things were cruel. And could you even put your feet in Elvis's shoes, and even imagine how Elvis felt in 1977 when all of this was going on? And Priscilla says he was the love of my life. Every interview, he was the love of my life. I still love him, even though this was going on 4 years after they divorced. Now remember, Priscilla acts, in my opinion, like his widow. She was not his widow. They had been divorced for 3 years, maybe longer. Now remember, everyone blames Elvis for the divorce. Everyone says Elvis divorced Priscilla because he'd been unfaithful and he was taking drugs and that he was a drug addict. This is what is said around the world in many books, on many biographies, documentaries, and movies, that the reason that Priscilla and Elvis split up was because he was an addict and because he was unfaithful. And I'm telling you now, guys, I don't agree. I don't agree that they divorced because he was an addict. I don't agree that they divorced because he was unfaithful. I'm going to give you my version of things. Then we're going to talk about the divorce settlement. From what I can see, and it's in this book here, Priscilla's book, page 262. And we'll read it out. It's only a few words. Now remember, guys, Elvis is blamed for the divorce. Everything is Elvis's fault. Elvis was unfaithful. Elvis was a drug addict. He had a bad temper. He was controlling. He was a groomer. He was abusive. He supposedly raped her. Right, I'm doing a live, sorry. So it's just my son, Rio. Right. So I'm going to talk about the divorce papers in a minute. I want to get through this. Now we're going to read this again. We read this together the other day, and I think we need to read this to understand the divorce. Divorce number 1, divorce number 2. Right. So let's have a look. Is Rhonda with us now? Hi, Rhonda. You okay? Hi, Monica, Deborah, Linda, Bobby. Hi, Bobby. Well, Bobby, we've had this discussion today. I don't accept that it was drugs that killed Elvis. I don't accept it. I think drugs played a part in Elvis's death. I blame Elvis's ill health. His ill health. Do you know what, Bobby? I respect your opinion. I don't agree with you. I respect your opinion. Right. I just want to read this. Now, I'm trying to sort of not go on a tangent. I want to try and stick to the topic of tonight. But I will say this, that Elvis was seriously unwell. He had serious chronic illnesses that affected his liver, his lungs, his heart, his colon. He had a twisted colon. He had a mega colon. He had high blood pressure. I think he had diabetes. So he had glaucoma. He had extreme constipation. There's other things he had as well. These are just what I can remember. There are more than this. And if you look up the book, Destined to Die Young by Sally Holdall, you will see the other illnesses that Elvis had. Actually, I will just play you a short clip. I will play a short clip because I want people to understand that, yes, Elvis did take many drugs, prescribed drugs. He did. I definitely, Bobby, I definitely think Elvis had a damaged liver, 100%. But let me try and explain to you. We try and blame the drugs. Now, of course, the drugs had side effects and did damage. And I expect they did damage his organs, including his liver. I know that. But we have to understand what got Elvis to that point. Why was Elvis so dependent on so much medication, over 40 pills a day? We've got to understand that. And it was because of his genetic condition he inherited from his grandparents on Gladys's side and from Gladys, because they were first cousins. And this had a massive knock-on effect. This is why you have to read the book, Destined to Die Young. I just want to read something. I just want to play something. Now, Hidden Minds, I don't know if you're on here. I'm going to play your video about his ill health. I hope you don't mind, Renee. I think we need to so that people like Bob can understand what I'm trying to say. Right, let's have a look. Let's get it up. Now, Hidden Minds knows that he knows I'll play this. I do like to, I don't like using other people's things. And but we are going to get back to the divorce in a minute as well, the documents. So let me just try and find it. Are you on, Renee? Are you on? Right, let's have a look. Okay. Let's find it, guys. It's only short. The reason I play this video is because it's excellent. And Renee has put a lot of work into this. Right. Okay. Are we ready, guys?
Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, is a name that resonates with music lovers across generations. But behind the electrifying performances and the dazzling smile, Elvis faced numerous health challenges that plagued him throughout his life. Today on Hidden Minds, we delve into the untold story of Elvis's health problems and the genetic weaknesses that contributed to his struggles. Elvis Aaron Presley was born on January 8, 1935, in Tupelo, Mississippi. From a young age, he displayed a natural talent for music. But even as his star began to rise, his health was already a concern. Elvis's health issues can be traced back to his family history. His mother, Gladys, suffered from various illnesses, and it's believed that Elvis inherited some of these genetic weaknesses. Let's take a closer look at the specific health problems Elvis faced. Elvis struggled with a myriad of health issues, including heart disease, liver damage, glaucoma, and gastrointestinal problems. One of the most significant was his struggle with obesity, which exacerbated his other health conditions. Elvis's weight gain in the later years of his life was a visible sign of his declining health. However, it was more than just diet and lifestyle. Genetic factors played a crucial role. Elvis was diagnosed with alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency, a genetic disorder that can lead to serious lung and liver problems. Experts explain that alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency is an inherited condition that can significantly impact an individual's health. In Elvis's case, it contributed to his liver problems, making it harder for him to metabolize certain substances, which could have exacerbated his issues with prescription medications. Elvis's dependency on prescription medications is well documented. Painkillers, sedatives, and amphetamines were a part of his daily regimen, prescribed to manage his various ailments. To cope with the extreme demands of his live performances, Elvis relied on uppers to boost his energy and downers to help him sleep. Elvis performed an astounding number of live shows, especially during his Las Vegas residencies. The grueling schedule took a toll on his body and mind, leading him to use stimulants to maintain his high-energy performances and sedatives to rest afterward. As Elvis's health declined, so did his ability to perform. By the mid-1970s, his once vibrant stage presence was overshadowed by his evident physical and mental exhaustion. Despite these challenges, Elvis continued to perform, driven by his love for music and his fans. Elvis also struggled with glaucoma, a serious eye condition that can lead to vision loss. This added to the list of his health problems, further impacting his quality of life. Glaucoma requires ongoing treatment and can cause significant discomfort and visual impairment. Elvis passed away on August 16, 1977.
So there we are. Right. So now, don't forget. Now, thank you, Hidden Minds, Renee. Thank you so much. Thank you. I've played your video. It's a brilliant video. I recommend you guys go to Hidden Minds. Great YouTube channel. He's a brilliant guy, and I have massive respect for him. Now, I'm using that as just an example to give people like Bobby, who I think are stuck in their ways and just have got it in their mind that Elvis is a drug addict and drugs damaged his body, and that is why he was ill and that is why he died. I completely disagree with Bobby, but I also respect his opinion to have his say and what he thinks. I also say this. Sally Holdall, the girl the author of the book, Destined to Die Young, spent years researching what this video has just described. Yeah. And what I'm trying to say to you guys is this. Sally Hoddle did proper research, found proper documents. Yeah. Now, if you buy the book, Bobby, if you buy the book, remember, I have been an Elvis fan for over 50 years. The amount of time that we have been Elvis fans is irrelevant. Yeah. My point is this. If you buy the book, Destined to Die Young, and read the book, do your research, make the effort, you'll start realizing that I'm not just talking rubbish. I'm not making excuses. I think it's an excuse to say that Elvis taking too much medication is the only reason that he was ill. That is making excuses. To ignore the fact that Elvis... Right, shh. Wait, come on. Ella, come on. Right, let me just quieten the dogs a minute. Right, so someone's at the door. Someone. Right, shh. Right, come on. All right. Right, I'm just doing a live a minute. Sorry about that, guys. This is what happens when you do a video from your kitchen. Right, I'm going to carry on saying what I'm saying without the dogs. Hopefully the dogs will calm down in a minute. I don't think it's fair to ignore Sally Hoddle's book, Destined to Die Young. I don't think it's fair to say, like, I'll scroll back, to call Sally Hoddle's book sugar coating there's no common sense in that. It's a proper book that's been done properly using documentation. And the other comment that Bobby said, because Bob, if you're going to say things to me, you're going to get a reaction. I'm not just going to agree with you. I'm going to disagree with you. Now, one of the things you said was not many people married their cousin and have these problems. Now, Bob, I ask you now, how many people do you know that married their cousin? Seriously, how many people do you know that married their cousin? And even if you do know people that married their cousins, how do you know they were ill like Elvis? So that all of their body had broken down, every part of their body not working correctly, to the point where you're on over 40 pills a day. I am asking you, Bobby, how many people do you know that married their cousin? I'd like to know. Just answer me that, please. I have plenty of time to answer. Right, let me just read some of these messages. His body was already damaged, but damaged more through prolonged medication. I definitely say that being on 100%, I say if you are taking... Right, just 1 second, a minute. You got to talk quietly because I'm just going live a minute. 100% medication and pills damage your body. 100%. They've got loads of side effects. Loads. I would never say that medication does not damage your body. But what I will say is that Elvis's body was already damaged because of his genetic condition that his mother also had, which is why she died when she was 46. Elvis's body wasn't working properly, nor was Gladys's, and nor was Gladys's parents. That is the knock-on effect that eventually led to Elvis being on over 40 tablets a day. And to ignore, like the video we've just played, which has nothing to do with me. I never made that video. Video was made independently by another YouTuber that has done his research. And then you've got the Sally Hoddle book. But there are also many other videos on YouTube that break down the different illnesses that Elvis had.
Dad, you know where my phone is?
I think it's next to Mum's bed. I want to do this a minute. It's all right. The kids are getting home. Kids are going to bed. So I'm sorry, Bob, but to say Elvis just died because he binged on drugs is wrong. It's wrong. And that's it. To ignore Sally Hoddle's book is wrong. To ignore the video I've just played you is wrong. to not do your research is wrong. I actually say this to all people. If you're going to come onto an Elvis channel and have an opinion, please do your research. Please back it up with facts. I say that because otherwise it's not fair to Elvis. If people are going to repeat hearsay, if people are just going to give their opinions without doing research and backing up their opinions, then we may as well say the sky's red. Oh, the sky's red today. Oh, look. But no, the sky is not red. It's blue. We can't choose what color the sky is. So, sorry, Bob, but I fully disagree with you. But I will just say one thing, that the amount of medication that Elvis was taking, over 40 pills a day, definitely damaged him. 100%. And as all people that take medication, it could be anybody. It could be anyone with high blood pressure or with heart problems or with type 2 diabetes. You're going to take medication and it's going to have side effects. You could take paracetamol or ibuprofen. You're going to get side effects. So, yeah, 40 pills a day is going to damage you. But the reality is Elvis was very unwell, seriously unwell. And it wasn't his fault because he had genetically inherited this condition that led to all of his body in his late 30s breaking down, which meant he went to his doctor and was prescribed dozens of pills to ease his discomfort, his pain, his constipation, his glaucoma, his blood pressure, his diabetes. There were so many things that the doctors were trying to help him ease, especially pain, especially not being able to go to the toilet. I don't blame the fact that Elvis took loads of pills. What would you do? Bob, I'm still talking to you. If you had all these illnesses, if you had serious insomnia, high blood pressure, if you had a twisted colon, a megacolon, if you had constipation where you could not go to the toilet, and you were in serious pain, you couldn't sleep, you couldn't relax, you had no energy to perform, would you go to your doctor and take pills? Seriously, would you go to your doctor and get prescribed medication? How many people do you know that are over 60 that are on a lot of medication to ease their pain and discomfort, to lower their blood pressure, to lower their blood sugar? Of course, Elvis took a lot of pills because he was very unwell. Of course, there were side effects that damaged his body. So anyway, I think I said enough on that subject. So that's it. Let's get the proof, guys. Right, so let me just quickly just read a few comments. I'll tell you now, I've never met anyone that married their cousin. Never. And I doubt many people here have, to be honest with you. Right, let's have a look. Linda, I know a couple of people who married their cousins. Should I say I know their offspring? Some have visible deformities. This has been told to me personally by them who told me. Okay, Linda, thank you. Now, I don't know these people. These are people that we've got to know online on this channel. Linda didn't have to say that. Yeah. Thank you, Linda. Being related and having kids definitely increases the risk of genetic faults. Of course it does. We all know that. Come on. We all know that if you get with your first cousin, there's going to be problems. Right. Being related. Right. Thanks, Nadia, for that. Exactly, Nadia. Right. Issues from childbirth. Right. It's kind of like what come first, the chicken or the egg. The pills cause many ailments. Ailments needed the pills. Cheryl, I agree with that. But my point is Elvis had to take the pills. And Bob was saying if he didn't take the pills, and if Elvis took responsibility for his own life, he'd still be alive. No, because Elvis was so ill, he'd lost control. He was so unwell. He didn't understand why he was so unwell. He didn't understand why he needed all these pills. He was desperate. He was in pain. He couldn't go to the toilet. At any moment, he thought he was going to have a heart attack. He was in severe pain with his glaucoma. They were injecting into the center of his eye to try and stop the pain. There's so many things that were wrong with Elvis. And he was like, oh my God, and I have to do 3 shows a day in Vegas. And I'm being pressured by Colonel Tom Parker and family because Elvis was paying for everything and everyone, all of his family. Elvis paid for everything. So he had to work. He didn't have a choice. So he had to go and do 2 or 3 shows a day in Vegas. Oh, how am I going to do that? I've got no energy. I'll take an upper. How am I going to rest between shows? I'll take a sedative. How am I going to go to sleep? I've got insomnia. I'll take a sleeping tablet. No, don't. Stay back. No, you're not coming over here like that. Right, yeah, you are. You can upstairs. You can't come over here when you've got just no top on. Right, let me just get Mummy. Laura. 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 Call him up, please. I'm not having him come in with his knickers on. Right, Mum wants you. She's going to try and fix it for you. Come on. Come on, Mum's going to sort things for you. Come on. All right, Mum will come and get. All right, come and get him, please, Raw. Right, let's. Oh, the joys of having 500 children. Right, okay. So, I think we've said enough, yeah? Of course, Elvis had side effects and had damage caused by the pills, but he needed the pills. It's that simple. He needed the pills. I wish people understood. Right. I wish people understood. And this is why this channel is called Defending Elvis Presley. Because, look, there is a misconception about Elvis. He is called so many things. A paedophile, a drug addict, that he binged on burgers, that he was a controller, that he was a groomer, that he was a rapist, that he was violent. There's so many things that are said about Elvis that I think are completely unfair to him because I don't think he was any of those things. And this is why this channel is called Defending Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth. We fans want the truth. Many of us here have been fans for 50, 60, 70 years. And we're not going to get the truth by palming it off and saying it was his fault because he's a druggie. It was his fault. If he'd stopped taking the drugs, he'd be alive today. Because because unless you've done your research and understand how unwell he was, yeah, and realize why he took the drugs and that he had no control over it because his body had let him down. His body had given up. When Elvis got into his mid to late 30s, this is why he had a full-time nurses and full-time doctors. Because Elvis was a proud man. He didn't want people to know how unwell he was. Elvis didn't want the Memphis Mafia to know he was seriously ill. This is why they think he was just getting stoned all the time. Because they didn't know the whole truth. Because he kept it a secret. Because he was a proud man. This is why many people call Elvis a junkie or a druggie, that he wanted to get stoned or high. Because he didn't tell them that his body wasn't working properly, that he couldn't go to the toilet, that he was pooing himself. Elvis didn't want to say these things. He didn't want to tell people he had IBS, IBD, colitis, Crohn's. He didn't want people to know. Yeah? So what was he doing? He was binging on medication and trying alternative types of medication, trying anything to fix his body. But his body was unfixable because he had inherited genetic abnormalities from his grandparents because they were first cousins. I'm going on a bit, aren't I, guys? But you get my point. Now, please subscribe, guys. If you're just watching now, please subscribe. It's really important to us that you, if you want to get more live updates, that we come together and you subscribe. Really important. Anyway, and I just want to end this. I don't want to be rude. Bobby, I respect your right to have an opinion. I know you love Elvis. You've been a fan for over 40 years. I have nothing against you. But I will defend Elvis. Team Elvis here with me now will defend Elvis. We will. And if we think you're wrong, and if I think you're wrong, I'm going to say so with respect. Bob, we're not going to agree. I could tell you a few stories about Red West. Okay, now that's a different subject. Now, like you, I liked Red West a lot when I was younger, in the 80s and the 90s. Red West seems like a really nice guy. Yeah, but I tell you now, Red West is not the angel you think he is. Now, you're talking about one of the guys who wrote the Memphis Mafia book, Elvis, What Happened? And this is the guy that secretly recorded Elvis talking to him. And it's on YouTube. You look it up. Red West betrayed Elvis. And what friend secretly records his friend that he grew up with from school years and then releases it to the public? What friend does that? What friend writes a book to make money? Tell me one friend that does that. Because anyone that makes money from a friend is not a friend. I've got nothing against Linda Thompson, nothing at all. She did. The only thing I would say about Linda Thompson is that she loved spending Elvis's money. Loved it. Did you know he bought her 3 cars? Did you know that? But I do like Linda Thompson. Red West, no. He betrayed Elvis. So for an Elvis fan, mate, I think you need to do a bit more research. I think you need to buy a few books from people that actually know what they're talking about. We all have. You shouldn't have, Bobby, you should never have heard that phone call. It should never have been recorded. That phone call should never have been recorded. How would you feel if someone recorded your phone call and then sold it? How would you feel? Right. Okay, let's go back because a few of you have commented. Oh yeah, don't forget Nadia is very proud of her Facebook page, Defending Elvis Presley Fans Want the Truth. So please go onto Facebook and join onto Nadia's Facebook page, Defending Elvis Presley Fans Want the Truth. And we could all chat on there as well. Well done, Nadia. We're very proud of you. Okay, let's have a look. Let me just go through some comments because we still haven't got to the point of what I'm trying to do today. And I want to read some divorce papers. Right, let's have a look. I've missed a lot of your comments, guys. I'm really sorry. Okay, we're going. I've missed a lot of comments. Right. Okay. We carry the gene, but no one has the disease. They have to be careful who they marry. That's it. Now, Bob has said that his mum and dad were cousins. Fine. Right. Okay. Right. Let's have a look. Where are we? Right. This is the other thing. So, right. So, Bob is saying that, right, this thing that Gladys Presley was alcoholic is just complete rubbish. Complete rubbish. And also, this thing that says that Gladys had given up the will to live because Elvis joined the army. Does anyone actually believe that? Does anyone believe that, knowing that she would have lived with Elvis in Germany? Does anyone for a second think that Gladys did not want to be alive because Elvis had joined the army for 2 years? Come on. Common sense, guys. She was visiting him at Fort Hood when he was doing his basic training. And then she would have gone to Germany and lived with him. He lived with Minnie May. So, yes, they used alcohol for medicinal purposes, definitely. Because in those days, people couldn't afford alcohol. So if you were old school, not alcohol, medication, doctors, if you were old school, you used alcohol to try and ease your discomfort from your illnesses. And she was very unwell. She died at 46. She was very unwell because her parents were first cousins. I expect she did drink alcohol, but was she a raving alcoholic and drank herself to death? Of course not. That's just ridiculous. Anyone that thinks that Gladys was an alkie is not doing their research. There are many people that I've interviewed, people that knew Gladys when she was younger, and she was not an alcoholic. She was not a drinker. So this bullshit about her being an alkie just is beyond me. Right. We have to read between the lines and use our common sense. There's a lot of people lying about Elvis and has been for 50 years.
I'm just getting my banana.
Okay. Right. Stacey, he had very serious colon problems. About as serious as it gets. Right. Chilling in Canada. First cousin's marriage remains completely legal in 17 states. I'm sure it does. It doesn't mean that it's a healthy option. Right. Thank you, Colin. Right. Right. You're saying Red West is a liar? Yes, I definitely am. 100%. He exaggerated and twisted things. But obviously, these are my opinions. Nowadays, we would not take many pills. There are alternative medicines, acupuncture. Well, there are, Nadia, but no, I'm sorry. Many elderly people and probably members of this channel are taking a large amount of pills because they are very unwell. My own mother was taking 30 pills a day prescribed by her doctor, and they just made her more ill. Wasn't good. Was not good. So unfortunately, the quick fix with doctors now to shut people up is to give them a pill, and it doesn't make them better. It makes them worse. Right, let's have a look. Clayton, how are you going, Clayton? Kissing Cousins is a great film, but I understand your funny pun. Kissing Cousins. Yes, that is quite funny. Right. Stacey, that's right. Because it's legal doesn't make it right. Right. Nadia, Elvis had a lot of people on the payroll and was worked too hard by the colonel. That kind of pressure plus inherited illnesses made him take medication. The longer you take them, the more you need it. So true. Remember back then, medical information concerning Elvis's health issues were new. Yeah, Colin, you're correct. People didn't know. Elvis didn't know what was wrong with him. He didn't know. I agree, Nadia. I agree. The Memphis Mafia didn't know how ill Elvis was. Elvis was very macho. Very macho. He put on a very strong front. Right, Linda, I personally don't understand why first cousins marrying, in my opinion. It's weird that you have some blood. It's just my opinion, guys, but I don't want to offend anyone. I don't care what anyone says. First cousins shouldn't be getting married. Do not care what anyone says. I believe that. I wouldn't want my kids to marry their cousin. But that's my opinion. Diversity makes genes stronger, yes, but not cousins. Not cousins. Well, can't negate long-term effects. Right, maybe unpopular opinion, but I think Priscilla trapped Elvis by trying to get pregnant and so could make money off his name, but also have the lifelong attachment to him. Chloe, I'm not really sure, Chloe, because the evidence that I've found is that she didn't really want a baby because she wanted Elvis to herself so she could live his wild life with him, go to the movies, go to the concerts, holidays. She felt, once she got pregnant, I think she felt a bit more trapped. That's what I think. She couldn't join in. She wasn't so welcome on the movie sets, to the concert tours, to on the holidays. Elvis felt that a pregnant woman, because she got pregnant very quickly, didn't she? Just, on the night of the wedding. So I don't agree that she, 22, she was just about to turn 22 when she got pregnant, that she was ready to have a baby. I actually don't think Priscilla was ready to have a baby. That's just my opinion. You don't crossbreed dogs because you will have a sick litter. That's very true, Colleen. People don't know what Elvis went through in his life and know what he went through. I agree. Teresa, thank you. I wish people did. I wish the world knew the hell that Elvis had once he became unwell. Also, the way that Priscilla treated him months after giving birth to Lisa Marie Presley. So you think about it. They got married May the 1st, 1967. By the 1st of February, 1968, Lisa Marie Presley was born. By that March, Priscilla had been unfaithful with the dance instructor, and she has admitted it here. And I'm going to read it to you. This is what I was trying to do just now, and then I got distracted. Right, let's have a little read, for just a short read, guys. I hope you don't mind. Now, this is about when Priscilla Presley meets the dance instructor who gives her dance lessons. He owns the dance studio. Elvis had paid him to give her dance lessons, and how her feelings towards him. And I'm going to read until the point where she admits they had an affair. And she's talking about that she can't stop thinking about him. She's now talking about him now. He said I had the potential to be a good dancer, and he pushed me to the limit. Out of frustration and pain, I would want to quit. Demanding that I continue, he told me that I was building character and forced me to repeat the same routine until it was nearly perfected. This made me realize that I could go further than I'd ever dreamed. He believed in me, and I was accomplishing something. For the first time, I was feeling good about myself, and I couldn't wait to get to class each day. Mark, now she calls him Mark, but the guy was called Steve Peck. He was a 39-year-old dance instructor that owned the dance studio. And this is the man she had an affair with. 2 months after Lisa Marie Presley was born, less than a year after the marriage, less than a year after she married Elvis. And people blame Elvis for the divorce, for the breakup, but it was actually Priscilla. He believed in me and what I could accomplish. For the first time, I was feeling good about myself, and I couldn't wait to get to my class each day. Mark was a charismatic, and I was particularly vulnerable. In lieu of a passionate marriage, dance was becoming my life. I was obsessed with it. Taking all my frustrations and feeling into the studio, I found myself thinking about Mark even when I was at home. Thinking about Mark even when I was at home with Elvis Presley with a small baby. So Priscilla Presley, 22 years old, Elvis had sex for the first time with her on the night of their marriage on May the 1st. So he's been with her for 9 months through the pregnancy. Yes, he was also going off making his movies. I accept that. And she is at home thinking about Mark whilst holding her baby, sat with her husband, Elvis Presley. Now, doesn't that blow your mind? And she's admitted it in the book, this book. Yeah? So this is what infuriates me when people blame Elvis for the divorce. Because he was unfaithful and he was a drug addict. No. When Elvis was, this would have been 1968. Elvis was not totally drugged up and unwell. Elvis in 1968, if you watch the film Live a Little, Love a Little, and you watch the 68 comeback, is very healthy. Slim, confident, he talks normally, obviously tanned, strong looking. You see interviews of him then. You see when they're practicing the 68 comeback, when they're doing rehearsals. It's all on YouTube. There is nothing wrong with Elvis. Yeah, did he take sleeping tablets? Maybe, yeah. Did he take uppers? Maybe, yeah, to give him energy, to boost him through the day. But he was not a drug addict in 1968, so you can't blame the drugs. And in 1968, Elvis, and 1967, Elvis was faithful. You find me one person that Elvis was seeing in 67 and early 68. You won't. There is no one that was seeing Elvis through the pregnancy. No one. You won't find it. You'll find after she was unfaithful, Susan Henning on the 68 comeback special, yeah, Elvis had caught his wife being unfaithful with Steve Peck. During the pregnancy, no, you won't find anyone. So anyway, as I'm saying, Mark was a charismatic, and I was particularly vulnerable. In lieu of a passionate marriage, dance was becoming my life. I was obsessed with it, taking all my frustrations and feelings into the studio. I found myself thinking about Mark even when I was at home. I had only seen him a few times in my life, and yet I was unable to get him out of my mind. How wrong is that, guys? She's just got married to Elvis. They've just had a baby. Lisa Marie is a baby. I rationalized, telling myself it was because he was always there for me. He seemed to understand me, while the man I truly loved was involved in his own world. Well, yeah, he was a superstar, a pop star, making movies, getting ready to do the 68 comeback special. He had a job, he had a career, he had a life. That doesn't mean you sleep with the dance instructor when your baby's not even crawling. I began to relax, enjoying myself almost against my will. What is that? I began to relax, enjoying myself almost against my will. What does that mean? It had been a while since I spent some time with a man who had validated my abilities and appreciated spending time with me alone. Validated my abilities and appreciated spending time with me alone. What is that? What does that mean? Validated my abilities. Are we talking about dancing here? Are we talking about sex? It doesn't make sense. Actually, it does make sense. It's like she thinks the people reading this book are stupid. Validated my abilities. I've never heard sex be called validated my abilities. That's a first for me, guys. And appreciated spending time with me alone. He shouldn't even be alone with her. She's married with a baby. Where was the baby? When she was alone with the pseudo name Mark, who was with the baby? I asked that. Who was with the baby? It was also the first time I was not competing for my own identity. So now, because she likes another man, she doesn't have an identity. So because you're with Elvis Presley, you don't have an identity. She moved to America just before she turned 18. So she's basically a woman. And in 1963, when she moved over to Gracelands, it could have been the end of 62. She's got no identity. I don't get that. So she marries Elvis nearly in December 1966. And what, she still has no identity? I just don't get it. She's nearly 22. What is that? This was a high I had not experienced recently. This was a high I had not experienced recently. Now, what is that? This is a high I had not experienced recently. Are we talking about an orgasm here? Seriously, guys. Are you getting this? How ridiculous this is? And then this is the clincher. I had a brief affair and decided to end it. I had a brief affair and decided to end it. I had sex with a man behind my husband's back whilst I had a baby. And then 2 years later, she did it again with Mike Stone, the karate instructor, the karate champion, the friend of Bruce Lee, the friend of Chuck Norris. And then and she had a 1 year long affair secretly behind Elvis Presley's back. And then it all comes out, and then she demands a divorce. So are we getting this, guys? They split up. They did not end because of Elvis. Elvis wasn't the reason they split up. It was Priscilla's unfaithfulness. That's why they split up, in my opinion. Elvis didn't stop having sex with Priscilla because he wouldn't have sex with a woman that's had a baby. Elvis stopped having sex with Priscilla because she was unfaithful. She'd been with another man. Anybody that tells me that Elvis will not sleep with a woman that's had a baby are wrong. And this lie has been repeated 1,000,000 times. This lie that Elvis will not sleep with a person that's had a child has been repeated over and over again for 40 years. 40 years. And it is so unfair to Elvis. It is so cruel to his image and his reputation. It is unfair. Yes, Elvis in the early 60s had loads of girlfriends. Yes, after 1968, once he'd caught Priscilla being unfaithful, had loads of girlfriends. That doesn't make him a bad person. A bad person is someone that within a marriage, in less than a year after getting married, has an affair just after the baby is born. That's a bad person. The good person is Elvis, who honored his promise. Elvis said that one day he would marry Priscilla. He got engaged to her in 66 in December, and then on the 1st of May got married to her, and then had a child with her, had sex with her on the night of the wedding, because Elvis would never sleep with a minor. This is another lie that Elvis is a paedophile. Elvis slept with a 14-year-old. Another lie. Elvis slept with a woman that was just about to turn 22, and it's in this book. Priscilla clearly says they did not have sex when she was 14. Elvis refused to. She begged Elvis for sex, and he said no. Elvis is not a paedophile. I repeat, he is not a paedophile. Anyone that thinks he's a paedophile, you are very mistaken. And that is why this channel is called Defending Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth, because we fans, together with Team Elvis, we want the truth. It's as simple as that. Right. Well, in a minute, I'm going to read the divorce stuff. Let's quickly check your messages. Do you know, Bobby, who was Elvis having sex with during Priscilla's pregnancy? We don't think we are, Bobby. So I'm not getting that last message, Linda. Come on, guys. This isn't about me trying to be against Bobby. This is me defending Elvis Presley. This is why we're here. This is why we have Team Elvis. So that fans, Elvis fans, very upset Elvis fans, who feel that Elvis's image and reputation has been damaged, can defend him. And there are many people that fall for the Priscilla Elvis fairy tale. People who grew up through the 60s and 70s and watched the romance between Priscilla and Elvis like to think that the reason it went wrong was because Elvis was unfaithful and that he became a drug addict. And it fits with the narrative. Oh, Priscilla and Elvis, the beautiful, perfect couple, the only reason it went wrong is because he was a drug addict and he was unfaithful and he was a groomer and a controller and he was abusive. It's just such crap. People have to wake up, see the truth. Whenever you see Priscilla being interviewed and she sits in an interview and says, Elvis is the love of my life. Elvis, I still love him. He's the love of my life. I still love him. Anyone that believes that have not done their research, have not done their homework, and have no idea what they're talking about. Because if you knew the facts properly, you would never believe that when she says that Elvis was the love of her life and she still loves him, you would never believe it. You would laugh your head off. You would laugh your head off because it is so far from the truth. And if you understood the divorce settlements, which I'm going to read in a minute, you will laugh even more because those divorce settlements were very, very cruel. Very cruel. And remember, we're talking about a woman that gave up the name Presley and took it back when he died and then used it for 50 years to make money. 40 odd years to make money. This is what the person we're talking about here. We're also talking about a woman that was having sex with Mike Stone, the karate instructor, behind Elvis's back for a year. And then Elvis found out, and then she went to live with him, broke up 2 marriages because Mike Stone was married with a child, broke up Elvis's marriage because Elvis was married to Priscilla with Lisa Marie Presley. So when Priscilla decided that she wanted to have sex with Mike Stone, 2 marriages were broke, 2 relationships, 2 children were taken from their parents. 2 children. For sex. Remember that. And then Priscilla, for the next 40 odd years, acts like she was Elvis's widow. Priscilla was never Elvis's widow. When Elvis died, she had been divorced from him for 4 years. She was never his widow. She acts like his widow. Oh, I still love him. He's the love of my life. No. You shagged someone twice behind his back and took his kid from him, took all his money. That's the truth of it. Broke his heart, and then went skipping down the road with Mike Stone and Lisa Marie, and then paraded yourself in the press, in the newspapers, in the tabloids, the magazines, TV clips for years. And Elvis had to sit at home and watch you with his daughter, with Mike Stone, happy and smiling. I can show you 30 pictures of Mike Stone kissing and cuddling Priscilla with Lisa Marie. Elvis had to see that. That was the thanks that you got, that Elvis plucked you from nothing in Germany, from nothing, and brought you to America and gave you the life of a royal family member. He gave you the life of a royal family member. You lived in luxury in a mansion, and your thanks to Elvis is to act like you were a prisoner and you had no identity, and then to run off with another man and break people up. Split up 2 marriages. Right, okay. I'm sorry, but I've said enough. Right, let's have a look. Okay, guys. Right. I think we've explained ourselves to Bobby enough. Let me just check your messages. Elvis was a playboy, we agree, but he really tried during his marriage. Priscilla couldn't she have an affair? She had years to leave before the marriage. Funny how she didn't cheat before she got. Look, this is what I've learned about people like Bobby. I've deleted him now because you have to understand, guys, that we're not going to change the mind of people that aren't interested in learning the truth. We're not going to change. If someone is on this channel and they've got it in for Elvis and they think negatively about him and think that he's a druggie, a paedophile, an abuser, a rapist, whatever, there's so many different things they call him, a groomer, controlling, so many ridiculous things, and they don't want to change their mind. It doesn't matter what we say. I've just spent half an hour trying to explain why things were, trying to be fair, and his comment at the end of half an hour of me waffling, he says everything was Elvis's fault. Oh, so I've just told him that twice Priscilla was unfaithful during the marriage, the very short marriage, because they got married in 67, they were over by 68, and then at the end of it, he went, it was all Elvis's fault. That's why I deleted him. So if people hate Elvis, they shouldn't be on this channel. Simple as that. If you hate Elvis, if you think Elvis is a druggie, a pedo, a groomer, a controller, a rapist, you shouldn't be on this channel. My brother's on. Hello, brother. How are you? You okay? Andreas is on, guys. So I was going to read some of the divorce papers. Let's have a look. Now, I've got a shortened version of it. Drinking a cup of tea. So we've been on for quite a while, but I did want to just quickly read a shortened version of the divorce papers. Let's have a look. I did actually find something. Right. So I found this. This is basically someone was auctioning the divorce papers and they just did a short version of it. And I just thought I'd read it. Let's have a look. Right, eventually, let's have a look. Right, so here we go. So Priscilla decided to leave. The couple parted ways in 1972, and Priscilla filed for legal separation in July of the year, concerned that the separation would make her home address visible on public records and therefore put Priscilla and Lisa Marie's security in danger. Elvis filed for a divorce in January 1972. The divorce was amicable. The pair notably left the courtroom holding hands, and they stayed in close contact until the legend's death. Now, Elvis was civil. He wanted to look good to the public. He wanted to do the right thing for Lisa Marie. So he made sure that on the day of that divorce, that he put on a good face for the public. Now, do I think they were getting on behind the scenes? What do you think, guys? Probably not. Anyway, a Wiltshire auction house will soon be offering the divorce papers. Now, let's see. It's the divorce papers contain 12 pages, and then we're just going to give you a snapshot of what they said. So, yes, let's have a look. Bobby isn't on this channel anymore, guys. Right, so the documents reveal that the divorce settlement out of 100, right, let's have a look. The documents reveal the divorce settlement setting out that $100,000, the sum was to be paid to Priscilla in 2 installments, $50,000 within 5 days of the agreement and $50,000 on the 20th of August of 1973. In addition to this, Priscilla was to receive a Mercedes, a Cadillac, a Harley Davidson, half of the income of their luxurious residence in Beverly Hills, Los Angeles, and Palm Springs. Let's see if it talks about it. After divorcing at age 28, Priscilla embarked upon a 22-year relationship with film producer Mark Garibaldi. Right, let's just see if we can get some more stuff up about the divorce. Have a look. Papers. Let's have a look. I've got them here somewhere. It's just coming up. Where are we? Yeah, I mean, we've been through it, haven't we, guys? We've been through it, you know. You can't tell people how to think. Right. So let's have a look. Here we go. So the property settlement agreement is made between the 15th day of August 1972 in Los Angeles, California, between Elvis Aaron Presley and Priscilla Ann Presley. The parties are husband and wife. I'm not going to read all of it. I'm going to skim through it, guys. Unfortunate circumstances and unhappy differences have arisen between the parties by reason of which they have lived separately and apart since February the 23rd, 1972, and by reason of which they intend to dissolve their marriage through a petition of therefore to be filed by husband in Los Angeles Superior Court. By the property settlement agreement, the parties wish to avoid unnecessary litigation and emotional stress and expense which would accompany the same, and to forever finally and completely settle their complete interests as between themselves. In other words, they've decided what they're going to, Elvis has decided what he's going to give her, and Priscilla has agreed. So in each and every item of property owned by the parties, whereas held as separate property, community property, or quasi-community property on a joint tenancy or otherwise, each party agrees not to request this property settlement agreement incorporation into the merger as part of an interlocutory judgment of dissolution. This agreement shall survive, and the executive and delivered by either of us and the intimate mentioning. Well, it's just waffle. But look, let's just get to the crutch. I'm just checking your comments. I think Elvis was very generous, to be honest with you, on the first divorce settlement. I think Priscilla did very well. So this is what he was going to give her. So income, husband, wife agreed that the properties of the parties is as follows. A single residence located at 1174 Hillcrest Road in California. A single residence of 114 Montevideo Drive, Los Angeles. A single family residence located at 845 China Canyon, Palm Springs. A 71 Mercedes. A 69 Cadillac Eldorado. 1971 Harley Davidson, and some cash in bank accounts. And then it talks about, as far as for a full settlement for all right, title, and interest the wife may have in and any of the properties now in the name of the husband or in the name of the husband jointly and others, including community property set forth herewith. Then it just goes through it all again. She gets £100,000 cash to be paid in 2 installments. Then it just repeats everything again. It's all a load of jargon. Then there's a long section about insurance. There's a section of payment of community obligation. There are spousal payments as well. Obviously for Lisa Marie. And then you've got the signatures of Priscilla and Elvis. Then you can actually see the documents. It's all online, guys. It's all there. Now, I'll be honest with you. Do I want to spend half an hour reading or an hour reading court documents? No, because it's boring. Now, that was the first divorce settlement. So then that was all agreed. That was the end of it. Now, then for some reason, and I don't know exactly what year it was, I don't know if it was something to do with Richard Kardashian. For some reason, she changed her mind, as Nadia says, and went back for a second divorce settlement, and the money was much higher, $750,000. She wanted a much higher monthly spousal payments. She also had other things that she wanted. Elvis was in financial difficulty. Elvis could not afford to pay Priscilla. Priscilla had some very good attorneys that were backing her. And Elvis basically, in the end, just agreed to everything. But because he couldn't afford to pay her, this is when they created the deed of trust, the lien, the charge that was placed on Graceland, the building, so that Elvis would guarantee that he paid Priscilla in installments. She also wanted 5% of his royalties. Remember, Elvis couldn't afford any of this. Vernon was going crazy. He couldn't believe this was happening. They felt like they were going to lose Gracelands. So the deed of trust was placed on Gracelands, the charge, the lien, and then it was agreed that the payments were going to be spread over a certain amount of years. And this was all happening in 1977, when Elvis was extremely unwell at the same time as the Memphis Mafia released their betrayal book, Elvis, What Happened? Yeah? So you see where we're going, guys. It was a very ugly divorce. The second divorce was cruel, very cruel. So I'm going to put it out to you guys and just let you do some comments, because we're coming to the end of this live stream now. And Patricia's right. Initially, Priscilla said she didn't want any money. She just wanted her freedom. That's what she said. Nadia. Okay. Yeah, I think that, Nadia, I think that's for another day. I think that's for another day. I wonder if it's got the second divorce settlement here. Let's have a look. I'm just seeing if on my notes I've got the second divorce settlement. No, it doesn't. think I'm going to do this on another day. Right, let's have a look. Check your So I think because we've been on a long time, Nigel, I want to sort of save that for probably for tomorrow. I just think she went too far. I think she was way too greedy. This is just my opinion, guys. If I was having a divorce, I think I'd be much fairer. I really do. I think come on, plenty of people go through divorces. And in the end, there's two sides to the story. But I think you want both people to come away happy. You want a fair settlement so the kids are happy. You want a fair split of property and cash. It shouldn't be all one-sided. And I personally feel that the second divorce settlement was too greedy. I really believe that, and quite cruel. And if we look at what the Elvis fans say, you guys, don't forget, a lot of my information I get is from you guys. You guys are messaging me. Team Elvis message me regularly. A lot of you message me personally. So you're teaching me a lot all the time. And the fans are upset. The fans are very upset with so many things that have happened to Elvis, which is why a channel like this can do okay, because the channel is called Defending Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth, because you fans are upset. You fans want the truth to come out. You don't want Elvis Presley, the man that you admire, the man that you think was a great man, who was a good Christian, who did so much for charity and so much for people and his own family. You don't want him to be thrown in the bin for 40 years. So we keep seeing these books and these interviews that are unfair to Elvis, that keep repeating the same stuff over and over again. Because if you look at most interviews about Elvis, especially with Priscilla, yeah, in my opinion, they're more or less saying the same thing. They're more or less asking the same questions. And they do say lots of good things, but then they do the bad things, don't they? It's like, oh, Elvis was great. He was so talented. He came from rags to riches. He was such a beautiful man. But then they go, oh, but Priscilla was 14. He was an abuser. He was controlled. Oh, he was a drug addict. You know, it goes down that route. It's not fair. It's not fair. Because the truth is that divorce happened because of Priscilla. The unfaithfulness within the marriage was Priscilla. Now, did Elvis have loads of girlfriends before? Definitely. Did Elvis have loads of girlfriends after Priscilla was unfaithful? Yeah, he did. Did Elvis take lots of pills? Yes, but he was very unwell. So you've got to be fair. Elvis had serious insomnia, serious constipation. Elvis couldn't relax. Elvis needed things to give him energy to perform. There's so much more to it. And I wish people were told the whole picture, the whole story. And even the Baz Luhrmann film, it's a little bit unfair to Elvis. It's a little bit unfair because it still paints him out as a bit of a druggie. It paints his mother out to be a bit of an alkie. So even the Baz Luhrmann film made mistakes. Now, the Priscilla film, I could talk all day to you about how unfair that film was and how wrong, and that film should never have been released. And Sofia Coppola should never have made that film. There's a whole story there. And I've heard there's a possibility that Barry Siegel had something to do with the making of the Priscilla film. Bridget Cruz messaged me, and the auctioneer, she messaged our channel direct and said that it's her own words. Bridget Cruz said that Barry Siegel may have orchestrated the making of the Priscilla film. Now, don't forget, Barry Siegel is the one that ripped off Lisa Marie for $100 million. So if Barry Siegel is making the film, or helped make the film, or orchestrated the making of the film Priscilla, why is Priscilla friends with Barry Siegel if he ripped off her daughter? There's a lot to say, guys. There's a lot to say. And we know that film Priscilla, which flopped anyway, we know that it did harm to Elvis's image and reputation. It made Elvis look bad. It made him look like a drug addict. It made him look like an abuser. It made him look like a groomer. That's what that film did. And we're not happy with that. Why did Priscilla allow that film to be made when she knew her daughter did not want it made? Her daughter had emailed Sofia Coppola asking her not to make the film because it portrayed her father in a bad light. So I think, in my opinion, I think Priscilla was wrong to have allowed that film to be made. But she wanted glory. In my opinion, she wanted the glory. And that's not fair on Lisa Marie. It's not fair on Elvis either. Because I think Elvis completely transformed Priscilla's life. So I think she owed Elvis myself. So anyway, Nadia, you're speaking in French there. I can't even read that. Because she told she was entitled to half of everything. She did think she was entitled to half of everything, but she wasn't. No way. They only had one child. The marriage only lasted 4 years, was it? Patricia, Barry Siegel was out the picture, but Bridget Cruz, the auctioneer, who's recently been in the news for supposedly being involved with the sale of fake items, but Bridget Cruz has clearly said to me in a message on my channel that all her items are authentic and she can prove authenticity. But I did ask her and say, were you involved in the making of the Priscilla film? And she said the Barry Siegel orchestrated the decision to make Priscilla the film. By the sounds of it, he approached Sofia Coppola to make that film, in my opinion. Yep, you're right, Colin. The reason Bridget Cruz approached Priscilla, they were already friends because they were selling things in the auction. But Priscilla was rumored to be 60 days away from insolvency. She had a $700,000 tax bill that she couldn't afford. And Bridget Cruz had a savior plan that was going to make Priscilla a lot of money. And this is why Priscilla signed 12 contracts with Bridget Cruz, because they thought they were going to make a lot of money. But then Priscilla changed her mind because she felt that there was a lot of wrongdoing happening by Bridget Cruz and her partner. That's one lawsuit. But don't forget, Priscilla is countersuing and saying that she is owed $100 million. And she feels that she has been completely ripped off by Bridget Cruz and her 3 associates. There's 4 people. Priscilla is countersuing 4 people. And she's basically saying it's elder abuse and she has been ripped off. That's what's being said, guys. My God, we could talk about Scientology for a year. That's for another day, guys. So, anyway, I just want to thank Team Elvis. I want to thank Stacey and Deborah and Nadia, who are the moderators. Thank you so much. Thanks for helping today on the phone lives. I've noticed the phone lives now, the views have dropped a lot. I'm not sure if that's because they are higher at the weekend. I have no idea. So, but actually they're much calmer and quite easier to manage for the moderators. And thanks, Nadia, thanks for all your efforts with the Facebook page. I know that Nadia, behind the scenes, has been doing a lot to try and help the channel. So has Deborah, so has Stacey, and there's another one, Rose Finney. Let's have a look. Is that her name? I just want to get the name right. Yeah, Rose Finney has really been helping as well. Thank you for all your posts, giving me information. Many of you give me information. Deborah definitely does. Nadia does. Sue Shannon. Thanks, Sue Shannon. Natividad and Philomena have all been giving me information behind the scenes. I thank you, all of you. I thank all of the members. We've got 30 members. And our newest member is called... Let's have a look. I should know this. Our newest member is Shirley Jury, and Nicolette was a few days behind that. So there's 30 members. Now, please, guys, it's only £1 a month. If you want to be a member, guys, please. I really like having members. I'm trying to grow the membership. It's only £12 a year, $12 a year. It's nothing, and you can cancel at any time, and it means a lot to me. So obviously, please subscribe, guys. It's important. 78% of people watching this channel do not subscribe. Please subscribe. Press the like button. Oh, my brother's still on then. I'm surprised you're not asleep. So we've been on for an hour and 25 minutes. It's gone quick. I wasn't even going to come on tonight. Yeah, we've got a lovely little Facebook page now that Nadia's started. She's done so well. Guys, join the Facebook page. It's called Defending Elvis Presley Fans Want the Truth. Join it, then we can all chat to each other. All right, my brother's blogging. Ask my brother a question. Ask my brother if he's an Elvis fan. Say to him, are you an Elvis fan, Andreas? Oh, thanks, Patricia. Well done. Chilling in Canada. Have you joined the Facebook page? Defending Elvis Presley. Fans Want the Truth. We're both Elvis fans. We always have been. We always have been. We both, remember, we're twins. We like the same things. So let's see if we can encourage some more people to sign up on the Facebook. What names have we got? Patricia's just joined. Linda, have you joined the our Elvis Facebook page that Nadia set up? It's called Defending Elvis Presley Fans Want the Truth. It's brilliant. And we can all chat to each other. Let's do it for Nadia. Is my brother on there? Andreas. Andrew, bro, have you joined our Facebook channel? It's called Defending Elvis Presley Fans Want the Truth. Teresa, please join our Facebook channel. It's called Defending Elvis Presley Fans Want the Truth. Then we can all chat to each other. Cheryl, have you joined our Facebook channel? It's called Defending Elvis Presley Fans Want the Truth. Cheryl, come on. Let's get you on there. Let's get chatting. I would invite Bobby, but he's deleted. Oh, poor old Bobby. Colin, are you still there? It's called Defending Elvis Presley Fans Want the Truth. I think that's everyone. That looks like... Oh, Colleen, have you joined Defending Elvis Presley Fans Want the Truth? Stacey's on there, I think. Are you on there, Stacey? I think you are. Deborah, are you on there? I'm pretty sure you are. Yeah, I think that's everyone. Let's have a look. We'll have to check. Right, let's see if any of you have joined. I'm only teasing you guys. Well done, Colleen. Come on, Colin, you can do this. It's called... Then we can all chat to each other 24/7. Yeah, I was singing, Andy, I was singing today. I can't sing. Nadia, I told you I can't sing. Let's have a look. Defending Elvis Presley. So we are up to... Let's have a look. We have 19 members. My brother's just joined. My brother's joined. Hi from Andreas. There we are. And my brother shared it as well. But shared it to what? What have you shared it to? The thing about... So, all right, Andy. Yeah. Yeah, it's called Defending Elvis Presley. Fans Want the Truth. Oh yeah, and your members are of age. Well, I think that's it. I think I'm going to call it a day. It's quite late. What time is it? 9:37. So tomorrow, I'm going to have a go at doing the divorce deposition, Elvis Presley's divorce deposition. I've got a shortened version of it. So let's have a look. Let's have a look. So let's just have a little peek. Yes, I've got a shortened version of a divorce deposition here. I'm going to just read it through tomorrow. At least I think it is. Elvis's divorce deposition. It's more of a story. I don't even know if it's a divorce deposition. It's more of a declaration. We're going to read it tomorrow, guys. We'll save that for the morning. Well, looking at it, it's not that long. It's not actually that long. Let's see how we're doing on the Facebook page. Oh yeah, my brother shared it. I like that. See, my brother's got a site called M0FXB. M0FXB. Let's have a look. So we're on 19 members. We've got Presley Mania on there. I think Nadia has posted a few Presley Mania things about the divorce. Obviously, we like Shauna. We love Shauna's channel. Tender Loving Care. Great channels, guys. So I think that's it. I'm going to go now up to 20. We would like it to be 20. Can we get it to 20, Nadia? Elvis Australia fan club is great. Yes, I do. I'm on that one. Definitely. Yeah, that's the good thing about Facebook. We can post the pictures and video clips. Okay, I'm going to go now, guys. I'm very tired. I know it's 9:40 p.m. here, but I feel like it's 11:40. I'm very tired. You know I get up at 6 a.m. So thanks to my brother for joining in. Thanks for Team Elvis. Thanks for the moderators. I'm going to come on tomorrow morning around 9 a.m. and I'm going to go through that divorce deposition. And it's time to go nights. Time for nights. We'll do some more phone lives tomorrow. Appreciate all of you. Thanks for watching. If you haven't made yourself known there's 21 people watching now, guys. You're always welcome to join us, become part of our family. We are very welcoming to new members. Please subscribe, and I think you'll enjoy meeting us. And we do live streams every day. Night, everyone. Sweet dreams, all of you. Stacy, Deborah, Nadia, Patricia, everyone. You're all great. Cheryl and Teresa, Linda. Thanks to my brother, Andreas and Colin and Teresa. Right, I think I covered everyone. Thanks, guys. All the best. You take care. All the best. Sweet dreams.